That is consciousness. That is the conscious mind that you see through the lens of when you experience the truth of the subconscious mind, which is your own. That is becoming conscious. So I guess I could say if psychology did a more proper job of explaining the subconscious mind in such a way that you understood it through the experience of your own, psychology would be the path to consciousness for humans. So I mean, I guess that's asking a little much of it. Psychology doesn't understand the subconscious mind to the extent that it's called for to become conscious through that understanding, which is where you're taken through a true understanding of the subconscious mind, because a true understanding comes in your experience of this thing, not some external definition. You use these external definitions to create space in your mind so that when you have this experience of your own, it has somewhere to fall into. You recognize it as that thing you've been learning about. There are many terms like this: empathy, objectivity, subjectivity, the self, the ego. You think you know what the ego is until you have a fucking ego death. Then you realize, oh my God, and you're out to try to figure out what the ego is. And it's on the back of your experience of your own subconscious mind, that is the mind as we use it, that you become conscious. It's not that you just want to understand the mind to manifest things, dude. If you understand the mind targeted through the experience of your own, the subconscious mind, in doing that, your entire life, your entire identity changes drastically and you become conscious. If you are not ready to witness your own subconscious mind or become conscious, it's impossible to do that. It is only when you have such a developed understanding of it to be recognized as a thing you're using to understand it, that it will fall into place. And when that happens, you're ripped out of the subjective seat of it, or from the seat of identifying as it, as yourself, into pointing a finger at it. And you're in the conscious mind now. And you're looking at this subconscious mind, this thing you were just using to create this little tiny idea of what the subconscious mind is and close your mind around it, inside of it. And all hell breaks loose, to be quite honest. You lose yourself. You have an identity crisis and your whole being splits. From a point you go both ways and you're like in the middle, looking at each end from the other. You see the subconscious mind, you're in the conscious mind. You wind up with your eyes, just this very intuitive thing that takes place, this conscious awareness looking at this thing. And when you see this thing, you recognize it as this very thing you just thought you were. Intuitively understanding it to be now everything you are not, because you are looking at it and pointing a finger at it. Objectively witnessing this idea, this character that is just circled around your name. You thought you were this thing that you are not. And then you're like, then what the fuck am I right now? You'll snap back over into the seat of your ego. Maybe you'll run and play video games or Netflix or get a girlfriend to try to escape what you just saw, but it ain't happening, dude. When you split and separate from the subjective seat of your subconscious mind, it's going to stand in between you and waking up to a fresh new day every single day until you sort through it, in developing an understanding of it as a part of who you are. And it being the self, it's alone. The word the self, the word the subconscious mind, is a subjective term. You know, there are questions, and like questions you could call objective. Me and you look at the same question. That question is objective. We're going to develop our own answer to that question. Our answers are subjective. There's what it means, the question, and then there's what it means to us. And They're the complete exact same thing until this division happens. But the subconscious mind itself is subjective, and it's subject to like an individual's level of awareness towards it.